This is the video review of Transformers Robots in Disguise Warrior Class Grimlock. And again, like with Steeljaw, I don't know why he's called Warrior Class instead of Deluxe Class or something like that. All I'm going on for the name is the Amazon listing because the box certainly won't tell you if it's a Deluxe Class figure or a Warrior Class figure. Anyway, here's the figure itself, and it really is a nice figure. I really like this guy. I love the shape of his body here. Like, he's a little bit bulbous down here, but it's not too big of a deal for me, honestly. Like, you're never going to see how it's bulbous down there. And otherwise, it has a very sleek curve to it that's very natural. Like, for a guy that's supposed to be super, like something that's not a car, something that's supposed to be like a robot version of an organic thing, it really does a good job of looking organic while still being a thing that transforms. And I like how it looks. In fact, I even like the color scheme here. I mean, the color scheme is a breath of fresh air for Grimlock as far as I'm concerned, because silver, gold, and red, that gets a bit tiring. I mean, I know we had the different color scheme on Grimlock in Age of Extinction. I liked his color scheme in that too, except for how it showed up in the movie. I wasn't a fan of the Dinobots just being straight black. But anyway, enough the color palette. His posability in this mode is the arms rotate up and down here. And this arm here kind of bugs me because sometimes it's tight and sometimes it's loose, and it's just a little bit annoying. The legs go forward and back, in and out just a little bit. They rotate above the knee, and they bend at the knee with a really nice clicky joint. What's interesting is that the clicky joint, it'll spring into position pretty well on this leg here. On this leg here, it is much looser. And I'm not sure what the cause is, because it's not a it's not one of those ratchets that is spring-loaded. If you see, there's a little piece there that's rotating with the leg in there. And that's what's causing the ratchet. It's a piece that's rocking in a little curved section until there's enough space for you to bring it around. So it's one of those very cheap ratchets that is still not just plastic grinding on plastic. So anyway, that's about it for this mode. He does actually have a gimmick here where you go like, "Me, Grimlock, smash!" And that's about it. It's a nice mode. I like it. Now the transformation on this guy is really slick. I really like it. To start off, you're going to take the legs here. You're going to pop them out to the side and just leave them there for now. Then you're going to come to the back. You're going to rotate his legs forward just a little bit, and then you're going to split the tail up here, or what I guess is more of his spine than his tail. And then you're going to rotate these sections around here. And there are little slots here and little tabs right here. And on mine, they're not as tight as they should be. I'll have to beef them up with some super glue. But anyway, you'll do that. You'll tab him into place, rotate his feet up. Then you'll split his legs up here. And then you rotate this in here. There's another same shape thing in here as this. And I think that's kind of neat how they did that. You'll bring his legs down. You'll rotate this back. You'll rotate, this is kind of annoying how the arms work, but to get the these arms here all the way down, and I do kind of like how the look of these as his arms. I think they look kind of interesting, like he has, "I am 4 arms!" I don't know why I did Arnold Schwarzenegger, but anyway, to get the arms where they're supposed to be, you have to rotate them down this far until they bump into these struts, and then you push these all the way in, and then that gives you the room to fold them all the way back. So how it's sort of in a multi-stage thing, I don't quite like that. I find that a little bit annoying, but it's not too big of a deal. Then you rotate the arm around, and then getting the hands out can be a bit of a pain because there's no little tab on this side. Like, it looks like there is, but there's no little tab on this side that you can use to really get your fingernail in there. So this side's a bit easier than the other one. But anyway, once you get those done, you can pose his arms however you want, and this is Grimlock in his robot mode. And it really is a nice robot mode. From what was such a full-looking Godzilla mode, it really does turn into a very sleek and kibble-free robot mode, and I do appreciate that. Like, the only kibble you really get is a little bit of the head hanging off the back, which is, excuse me, which is tradition for Grimlock at this point. If Grimlock didn't have his head on his back, he really wouldn't be Grimlock very much now, would he? And then these little arms back here, which They can be a little bit annoying because you're moving these around. Sometimes they'll bring his little arms up front. But what I like to do, kind of, just because I think it's funny, is just bring these up front. So it's like, I have 4 arms. And that way they sort of stay out of the way a bit better. And it makes this look a little bit more interesting. And the other thing I like about having these up front is they break up the dark colors in his color palette. Like, I do have a similar problem with this guy that I had with Steeljaw, where Steeljaw has a color of plastic that just kind of soaks up light so that none of the detail really gets reflected back out. Now, Grimlock here doesn't really have that much surface detail. He's more of a silhouette guy than a detail guy, so it's not that big of a problem. But I do like having these things out just to break it up just a little bit. It's not show accurate or anything, but I do like it this way. So anyway, for posability, the arms rotate around 360. They go in and out. They rotate above the elbow. They have those nice ratchets again. You can get some wrist movement here, but I don't know if it's really going to be useful. Then the head can rotate side to side. And one thing to watch out with the head, at least on mine, the head was not actually glued into place. So I'll need to glue that into place, unless for whatever reason you think that's a much better head. If you are, you're weird. Anyway, you can move these little arms up and down, ha ha ha, and then these can move forward and back and in and out, and they're really tight joints in there too. Rotate above the knee, bend at the knee, and it's another ratchet joint down there. You can kind of, it's one of those ratchet joints where it's plastic scraping on plastic, but it's still a ratchet. Then you can bend these down if you like, and it will help because his instep isn't quite flat. It's close enough to basically be usable, but it's not quite flat. So if you do this, he will have a much better footprint, although he will be kind of pushed back, so you'll have to adjust his stance for that. The one thing I did notice on mine, on a previous take, is that on mine there is a little bit of flashing in there that I do need to cut out, and that might change the fit of the leg up there, because it looks like it's kind of bent a little bit. I'm not sure if I really want to cut that out just because of how it might have warped the plastic from being in the packaging like that for however long this thing was in storage before it reached shelves. So anyway, that's about it for his posability. I do really like this figure. He has a good silhouette. I do need to solidify these pegs down there to make him a bit more solid, but I really love his beast mode. I love his transformation. His robot mode's really cool. And about the only problem I do have with him is that basically I just wish I had that more of this green on him to break up the black. So we just wouldn't have big voids of plastic. But he really is a nice figure, and I do highly recommend him. Certainly much more than this piece of trash. So, yeah, I review Power Rangers, Transformers, Digimon, Tobots, lots of stuff like that. If any of that sounds interesting, please subscribe, and thank you for watching.